Hi, Tricia here. Happy Christmas. So a really quick fun project just before Christmas is we're going to use a Lino block to create a really simple stamp that we're going to use with printing inks, and we're going to make ourselves a little Christmas card and some wrapping paper. I know, there it is. Look at it. Okay, let's get ourselves started. Okay, so we're going to have a go at making some lino or some stamps. I've got these stamps here that already say Merry Christmas, ho ho ho, that sort of thing. So you can incorporate more stamps in if you want to, but we're going to have a look at making our own stamp for this. I've got these lino blocks here, and all the equipment that I've got out is all ready. So let's have a look at what we've got. So I've got this soft cut. You can see how bendy and soft this is. This is a really easy sort of easy carve soft cut material which you can use, super easy. I've got this lino here which has got the hessian on the back. This is like a traditional lino, and this is really nice to use, but see, it's really hard. I don't want to bend it too much, but I might snap here, but it's quite a hard surface, so more of a traditional lino. So it's up to you what you want to use, whichever one you can get your hands on. I've got these teeny tiny little offcuts from other projects, and they're just sort of little bits I've drawn on these two, and I might print these up later, but I'm going to use these little offcuts just because I don't want to waste them, and actually I just want to make a very tiny stamp. I don't want a massive lino print, I just want a very small stamp. So this is what I'm going to use here. You can go bigger if you want to, but actually you don't want something massive, because you want to be able to easily print it. So just turn it round and create a scattered print all over our paper and our cards. Best thing to do. Okay. So this is the ink we're going to use. We're not going to use regular printing ink. We're just going to use these stamp pads. I've got red, green, blue. It's got like a little sparkle in it, I think this blue one has. Then my tools to carve my lino here. I want some lino cutting tools, and that's what these ones are. These have got a fixed blade in, and these ones have got a blade that you can remove. You just screw this off and then the blade comes out, and you put different blades in, and you get like a little set of blades with all different shapes and sizes. They're slightly cheaper ones. If you've got some more expensive tools, then use those, but these ones are fine just for making small stamps like this. And this one's got a, they both got the same blade in actually. You see it in there? There we go. Let's put a different blade in. There we go. You see that one? So you've got U or V shaped blades, and we want like a V one. So you can see there's a cutting blade, and then there's a rounded end, and the rounded end goes in, screw it in nice and tight, and it's ready to go. So we need to put our design down onto our lino, and so we can carve it out. Right, let's tidy up a bit. Okay, so what am I going to do? I need to put some graphite on the back of here first. So I'll rub some graphite on. And that's just going to give me a surface that I can trace down. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to draw all over this. Speed this up super quick now, because it's going to be a bit boring watching me drawing all this. You can get a design off the internet. You can probably Google different designs. I've made this little bell design, which I'm using. There we go, and see the graphite has printed out. Okay, I'm going to just go over this with a pen if I can find one. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go over with a pen just so I can see clearly where it is, and also so you can see clearly where the line is and what I'm trying to cut out. Probably help if I didn't keep sticking my head in all the time. The other thing to remember is if you're using pencil, first off, that sometimes that can rub away as you're carving. Probably not on something this small, but a slightly bigger thing. The pencil can rub away on your hands, and so you can lose those definite lines. So there we go. Right, ready. Okay. So I need to just go around and check my design. There we go. Finish that off. This is a permanent pen, like I said, so it shouldn't come off as I'm printing. If you use a non-permanent pen as you print, this black ink will come off. Okay, so I've got this, I don't know what it is, it's like a rubbery stuff. It's a non-slip thing that you put under mats and things, and that just stops my lino block slipping and moving around as I'm carving. So I've got a V tool here, so it's got a V shape on it, and it's just going to go right the way around that edge, all around the outside, to create just so I can carve it away really. So let's go for it. So be really careful that you don't put your hands in front, because you'll be carving into your hands. So your hands always need to be behind as much as possible. I'm going to go right round the edge, and then I'm going to carve that outside away, and then I'm going to come in here and carve some of these little bits. So let's speed this up now then. Okay, there we go, all done. Quite a simple design. I'll get that out. Right, so I've got quite a hard edge all the way around, so I'm going to come with some scissors and I'm going to cut that off, just so I don't get ink caught on that corner. Okay, here's one that I've done before. This is a Japanese vinyl, so it's really floppy. And you can see here I've cut all the way around the outside of the design, so gets rid of all those sort of cut marks and everything on the outside. And I've got more of a stamp. It is like a traditional stamp, so I'm going to do that on here. I'm just going to cut round the outside of that, and do any design you want, big, small, whatever you fancy really. Okay, right, let's get my paper out. So we'll do our wrapping paper first. Get that out. So this is just a brown, brown wrapping paper, parcel paper. Good fun. Okay, piece of paper on top. Get our stamp pads or our ink pads out. use a book first off just to see if I can get a good pressure on here, and it's okay, not brilliant. I'll ink up again and give it another go. Let's try again. Give it a good push. Yeah. Not quite, not brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to use my wet wipe and I'm going to clean this off, and let's try a different colour here. Let's go for green. See if my green creates a better stamp, better print. Yeah. Try and make them all a bit random in all sorts of directions. Yep, bit better, bit better. Keep going. There we go, sort of getting there. Need to put a bit more ink on. Maybe I need to press harder. A bit more. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Get in there. Get in there. So now all you have to do is fill your page, and if you've got rolls of wrapping paper to do, you might need to set yourself a little time aside to do this bit. I've abandoned the book because actually I can get a bit more pressure just with my hands, so it's not quite as even pressure, but I can press harder right down into the centre with my hands. Okay, so I'm just going to use this little ho 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 stamp here and put some more in between. Oh, look at that. I've wobbled that from top to bottom there, and I've created the lines at the edge of the stamp. So press carefully. Right, let's have a go at making our card then. Equipment out. So I've got my same stamp that I've just been doing the wrapping paper with. I've got some stamp pads again. I've got a card here. I've got one of those brown craft cards with a brown envelope. So fold this in half. So you saw when I was doing the wrapping paper that I had a piece of paper down. Really, it's just to keep everything clean when you're doing your stamp pad. You can do it like this on your, hold it up, or you can do it the other way where you're pressing the block onto your pad. But just make sure that your fingers are clean, really. Yep, there we go. And again, you can do a bit of a random pattern all over, so you could go over the edges of your card. It's entirely up to you, really. I think I could also draw a little ribbon here that these bells are hanging off. Right, clean this off with the wet wipe. And I'm going to try and get all the ink off as possible, because any ink that you leave on your lino, on your stamp, is going to come through when you add another colour on. So make sure it's nice and clean when you swap over your colours, and make sure it's quite dry as well. You don't want it wet. Okay. So this is my other shiny pearlescent one. You can always test it on your paper if you're not sure you're putting enough ink on. But these two worked really well, these two ink pads. So ta-da! Fantastic. Right, I'm going to use my little ho 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 again, so that I make a card that matches my my wrapping paper. Looks kind of cool, doesn't it? I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, so you could put other stamps in and different things. The way that you design it, you could do each one individually, different, more random. I could put something down the bottom here, but I quite like that pearlescent. So love to see what you create. Share it on the chat room, and Merry Christmas.